everybody. I've got a fun agenda today. See, I'm using my little notebook and I have 3 things. The first thing I want to do is thank all of you guys. I've been making a lot of different videos talking about stuff going on in the media, trying to find my voice and comfort zone of doing things a little bit differently and just exploring concepts, right? And we either are on board, we'll always stand one side or another side, and our feelings can be conflicted about things. And that's how we work through whatever this communication is. This discovery that's taking place within all of us, we're all a part of this. And I just want to let you guys know I value you for all your diverse feelings about everything that's going on. I really feel this sensation, this awareness of this like neutral love that I'm exploring is a powerful solution, okay, to when we have one side or another side. If we can value people no matter what that side is, and we can get deeper and deeper into what we're really going through just through communication, I mean, this is good stuff that's going on here. So I want to thank you guys so much for just supporting me and helping me feel valued over all these years. And I'm going through something in the way of self-expression, and it'll come to me. I mean, it's coming out of the woodwork just by me tapping in and getting something else out today. Okay, I got to get something else out today. So I wanted to do an energy update for March, where I'm actually going to just journey into the energies as they present themselves today, associated with our concept of March, which is in 2 weeks, because it's middle of February right now. And I'll tell you the reason why I was moved to make this message, because I was talking to a friend, and I hear this. I literally, I bet you anything, you've even said something of this kind somewhere in your life where, one, you're refusing to incarnate on this earth ever again. After this life, this is the last life you're ever going to live here, and you're never coming back, okay? The world is going to HE double hockey stick. And it's like, what do we have to believe in? Why are we feeling these ways? Whether you're on this side or that side, or you're the neutral love or whatever, why is it that our collective human race really associates with being sick of life on Earth? And what is the solution to it? And I choose to believe that there's something about 2022 that's powerful and beautiful, and it's Christ consciousness, and it's alive, and it's influential, and it's passionate, and it's getting into the heartstrings of every single person on this planet, and it's going to move mountains. And just because for thousands and thousands of years, the human race has been at each other's throats, and things have been out of balance between power and poverty, and how we feel valued and the hard work we have to put in each and every day. And I feel like we're reaching a new level of this timeline, of this massive lesson. It's not just a life lesson, because you could say an individual life is then a life lesson, but what about the life lesson over who knows what that period of time has been for this segment of human history, wherever that beginning and end is only entering into yet the next segment of human history. We're evolving, you know? I feel strongly we're evolving with something beautiful, and let's just ride that wave, right? If we were to say that there is nothing left to believe in, there is no hope, and I'm done living here on this earth, where is that going to get any of us? What? That's the stick in the mud. That's the bah humbug. Even the Grinch can change, you know? We have to keep believing in something beautiful here. We really, really do. And why not? Why not? You know? I'm not just saying this to be an optimistic person. I feel it in my heart. I feel it in the depths of my heart. And so I'm just going to dive into the energies and take a look at March. Okay, so we can see what an idea of our future, okay? My guides will either let me do it or they won't, because whenever I try to look at the future, they bring me back to the now, and it's really annoying because I want to be human and I want to see the flippin' future. I can actually at least take a look at vibrational patterns, okay, in our concept of March, and we'll just see what it looks like and see what happens. I found it interesting that when I did a February energy update, it was all about eyes wide open in February. And it was so much so that I had to keep my eyes open as I was doing this journey, just to really emphasize the point, all right? I think February definitely is an eyes wide open month so far. It's totally been an eyes wide open month. So let's see what we discover about March. Okay, so I also put on my little list here that when I end this, I want to do something, give back to you guys some visualization techniques, some energy healing tips, psychic development tips, something that I could give back to empower you, you know, that something of myself that I, over all these years of time, that has helped me to acquire and learn and develop what I am and who I am today, something of this to give back to you. I'm like an apple tree, I give you one of my apples. Okay, so I'm gonna relax now. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Okay, March. By the way, I'm really cold, so sometimes I get shaky and breathe goofy, and that's why. And I've got to put my hands underneath my blanket for a little bit. I'm cold. All right, March energies, we can do this. Okay, I see there's some dark people and they're emanating this shadow, okay? And this shadow is a light of its own kind, but it's more like there truly is dark light, and there's white light, there's red light, there's all different kinds of light. So this doesn't really express itself as a genuine light. It's shadow. So it's not emanating as an identifiable type of light. It's shadow. So I'm supposed to talk about light and how I am perceiving this. And so there's multiple beings here. I would say like 5 or 6, okay? And they represent this side. And they're sort of standing, and there seems to be an odd oblong kind of table. It's very narrow, so it's not like a full-fledged oval. And there's a lot of paperwork. It's quite strange because there's a lot of paperwork in a very narrow table. So where is it all? But it seems like it's just infinite volumes of paperwork. And it always remains in a very tidy little stack of like 3 pages, okay? This is going to be disgusting because we're going to have to rip the Band-Aid off. And underneath that Band-Aid is gangrene. I mean, straight up infection, amputation level, gross stuff. And I feel like these shadow people are the gangrene, are the infection. And the Band-Aid, we avoid ripping the Band-Aid off because the Band-Aid ripping off hurts, and the Band-Aid's supposed to heal it. The Band-Aid's supposed to be the solution, but all it does is hide what's going on beneath the surface. So we have to go through the pain of ripping off the Band-Aid in order to see what's going on here, okay? And so I see there's this gross buildup of shadow that needs to be exposed, all right? The thing is this is interesting. There's another kind of shadow, and it causes all of us to be clear and see-through. So you can't see that there's anybody on the other side of the oblong table that represents something you could say of the light or something of an opposing nature, because it's being shielded, not by shadow, but by what is like clear energy. So it's invisible. So the only thing that exists here is shadow. That's it. So then if clear is to remove the Band-Aid and clear doesn't visibly exist, nobody's going to be seeing that the Band-Aid is being removed to expose the shadow. And now the shadow's working with illusions to put everything back into place. But my guides say no, all right? Because we're not going to be left hanging here to rot, okay? So there's going to be some kind of intervention that's not going to allow it, some type of divine intervention that's not going to allow it, so that the rot now can be seen, faced, healed, and we can move on with our lives into something new, okay? And it could be a big pinnacle moment for our human race for thousands of years right now. Like right now, this can be it. This could be the big game changer of thousands of years of our incarnations, family and friends and memories of HE double hockey stick on Earth. This could be the pinnacle moment where all that stuff changes. So let's not be invisible. Let's not let the clear drape over us so we don't exist. Let's come out of the woodwork and have a face, have a presence. Let's do that, right? Because nothing can shield us except we choose to shield ourselves. That's the only thing, okay? So I am going to remove the clear. So you have those in the shadow. You can't see who they are because they're in the shadow. And we're really have adopted a vibrational connection with the shadow, so it feels like everyday life, even though it's not. It's totally, we're living in a murky sewage pit of energetic disgustingness, but that's like everyday life, right? It's not. So we're used to that. That's why we can be manipulated by that, because it's just another day in HE double hockey stick. But we're in the clear. We're in the clear. But I got to remove the clear in order for us to be seen by each other, in order for us to be able to make a difference, so that the Band-Aid truly has been removed to expose the differentiation between the shadow and the not shadow. There's so many of us that are not blinded by the shadow. So many of us that work from the heart, that have something beautiful to say, that care. And we can be represented now. We can be louder. We can be present. Why not? We have a beautiful life to live. This is not about, the shadow is not about a beautiful life to live. The shadow is about selfishness, regurgitating its own putrid energy back into itself, and then we just all ignore it because we're just trying to survive. But things are changing. Good things are happening, you guys. Good things are happening. All right. It's not easy, to be honest. It is zero easy. Because I'm just like, clear, like here we are in the clear. It's a funny play on words because we're invisible. And then I try to remove the clear so that we have visibility, and it's like I remove it and then it goes back on. I remove it and then it goes back on. It's like when you're a kid and you hide under your blanket, and it's like, no, there's nothing to be afraid of. And then you hide under the blanket. It's like, why is it that the clear keeps draping over the people who represent the opposing side? Because there is an opposing side. You either choose to be blinded by shadow or you choose to represent something else. There really isn't a neutral love unless you choose to be appreciative of both sides. But if you want to be impacted by the shadow, then don't be a neutral love. Then just be a servant of the shadow, who is going to have multiple different levels and tiers of its own self. But it's over here is about what can we do to make sure everybody feels valued. We can create a society where everybody feels valued and nobody's in an imprisonment. Psychological imprisonment, physical imprisonment, soul imprisonment. We don't have to have any of that anymore. We don't have to. So why is it so hard to remove this? Okay, this is all about March. March could potentially be representing an opportunity to expose this dark stuff so we can finally heal this ancient old infection, right? That we're sick of, that we feel it, and that's why we don't even want to live on this planet anymore. But yet we don't want to stop being invisible people. We just, like, come on now. So March is an opportunity for us to change these dynamics. But let's just see, it must not be easy, okay? Because I'm not able to just erase the clear and let the visibility take place. So something about March is saying this could be a challenge, okay? Oh, it's okay if things are challenging. We have to decide how strongly we want to believe in ourselves, or how quickly we want to fold the cards and be done with this poker game and just let the shadow win, okay? It just I'm backing up, I am turning away, and I'm just going to walk away and just continue to just say, I'm never going to incarnate on this earth again. Screw this. Without having tried to make it better. It's like we're all relying on somebody else to play Jesus, and yet why can't we all just play that role together? Why do you think Jesus fell? He was just one guy. He had some disciples, like 12 people. Come on now. We need everybody to play Jesus. Everybody. And then nobody gets hurt. Now we have a huge roundup of love that is loud and beautiful over a very small few that are bah humbuggy Grinches with the tiny heart that can grow big again. We have to believe in that. Still not easy. I'm kind of not able to move forward from here because this is as far as I can get right now. So let's just see. I'm going to say, I'm a spectator of the world, and I'm going to say, I believe in these people. I don't even know who these people are. I don't know their names. I don't know their faces, but I'm going to choose to believe in these people who are choosing to make a difference on the opposing side of this shadow. So even if I don't know their names and I don't know their faces, I do believe that they exist and that they do matter. Even if they're not in the media and they're not, it's like people, amazing people are in this world. And so I'm going to just send them light. I'm going to visualize light is within them and around them and illuminating their presence, which now gives them voice, that gives them a place that they exist. Now they're here, right? We see them. I want to see these people because I feel like I'm one of them. So I'm just going to put myself in this group over here. And my guides are smiling because again, we're looking at one side and another side. So we're going to remove the oblong table and we're going to mix the salt and the pepper. We're going to mix the shadow and the clear. So it's like weird. Like, what are we working with here? So we're going to mix it. Once it starts mixing up, this shadow is vulnerable because it starts to disconnect from itself. It tries to build up a pile of like-minded, and then it becomes stronger with that group. But as that group starts to separate through the clear people, then I see that the dark actually is extremely vulnerable to people of the clear, which is people that have beautiful things to say about Christ conscious level stuff, okay? Love level stuff. And people matter stuff, okay? And so I start to see that this is breaking up. This dark is starting to, some of it's starting to become clear. It's starting to change or morph its dynamic. It's becoming less of the shadow and more on board with the clear. And I start to see only a few shadows are holding on tight, because they don't want to change. And some of these shadows are, it's almost like maybe not self-aware, and that's why it's so easy for them to shift gears and merge with the clear. But I see the group of the clear is monumentally large, and the group of the clear isn't forcing the shadows to become clear, however, is influential of something that's better than the way it's been for thousands of years here on earth, okay? So many soul memories. These ones don't want to change, so what do? Do we have to force them to change? I see that they withdraw and they are trying to map out a new schematic, a new plan, a new deception. And they try to get others to join, because the only way for this to be powerful, it's like a bully. The only way for a bully to be powerful is to have supporters. Because people are afraid and they'd rather be friends with a bully than bullied by the bully. So then they become the insecure weakness that is aligned at the same level of the mentality of the bully. And so we have a bunch of weak-minded people that are on the bully side of things. But if the bully has no friends and now everybody else is putting the bully in its place, then the bully doesn't want to be a bully anymore. Oftentimes people become bullies because of what we don't know that they're going through. Something else is going on here that's causing that person to behave like that, which is why the bully needs a hug more than anything. Because when we can hug a bully, the bully starts to transform and feel loved. Because in the end, that's what's deep down inside of all of us, is we just simply want to feel loved. We want to feel like we matter. We want to feel like we have purpose. We want to feel like we're making a difference. We want to feel like we're heard. We want to feel like the painful ways, the silent ways that we feel inside, that somebody could understand us and actually help us. We want to feel like there is help for us. We all want to feel these genuine ways. But this shadow isn't going to give us that. It's going to give us an illusion that we're taken care of. And then we can believe that, or we can see the true reality that nobody's being taken care of. That's why everybody wants to stop incarnating on this earth, because we're all sick of this place. That means that it's not a good world. It's not a happy, healthy world. Okay, so March. March is not. It's almost like it's almost like things aren't budging. It's almost like there's opportunity for people to become more visible, for the Band-Aid to be pulled off, for us to see the infection, but it's like things are standing still. Things have the opportunity to move or not move. But it doesn't feel like a bunch of triumphant like the angels are singing. It just feels like time is stopped in a way and nothing is happening. Okay, that's literally vibrationally what it's like. I mean, we'll get to March and we'll see. Okay, this is my experience with March as of February 16th. Okay, let's see. Let me see here. I am becoming as dense as I possibly can to actually walk into this room instead of just projecting my consciousness and exploring this. I'm going to become as dense as I can. Again, the inspiration says remove this oblong table that is creating separation and divide. We have to mix the many sides of the story. We have to mix it all together. We have to stir up the soup. Because when that happens, it starts a healing process. It starts something new. And I say, why can't that clear stop being in the clear? Like, why? But the shadow doesn't have any faces either. So if I could just create faces on both sides, Nobody wants to have a face. Nobody wants to have a face. If you represent somebody who is creating an imprisonment for the human race, you do not want anybody to know who you are. So you're in the shadow, you're hidden, so that people don't know that you're actually one of the culprits of something that is big and imprisoning, and the reason why nobody wants to live on earth. But for some reason, all these people that are in the clear, they don't have faces by choice? Or are they trying to have faces they just aren't allowed to? Because as you can see here, the vulnerability with this deception is that it wants everybody to perceive the world is all like one side, all like this, and only a few are saying it differently. It's like trying to make it so that Jesus does not exist in any human being, and for you to call yourself Jesus means you're insane. But people know what love is. People know what love is, and people know what a loving action is, and people know what the genuine right thing to do is, because your heart vibrates. There's a lot of vibrating hearts on this planet. Is there anything else I can say about March? This is as far as I can get with it. Ha! They're saying this is number 3 on the list. So visualization techniques. This is where the apples of my tree are. I'm going to share an apple with all you guys. Okay. What is the apple? What is it that I'm going to share? I'm going to separate from this journey about March, and then I'm going to go to a space of the unknown, and then see what is the inspiration, okay? My guides are sharing this is great advice for all of us to not forget that we are surrounded by so many invisible beings in the spirit realm. And it's interesting parallel, because I was just looking at people shrouded by the clear, but our spirit guides, our angels, whatever you believe in is a higher power, vibrational love. Even if you don't believe in the spirit realm, we all have hearts. We know what love is. We know what a loving action, receiving a loving action from somebody, what it can do for you. That's medicine right there. Love is medicine. And it's like, if you are uncertain, if you are afraid, if you are angry, if you don't want to incarnate on this earth anymore, if you're tired of it, if you feel powerless, or if you're lonely, you're tired, maybe you have physical ailments that you're in the hospital. Anything can be going on with anybody right now, but we are surrounded by love. We're surrounded by our loved ones that have passed away, whether they're human people or animal people or our favorite plants. We're surrounded by so much love, and to let that love inside. Breathe it in. Feel any kind of resistance in your body and say, I need this love more than ever. I've always needed it. Why would I resist it? I'm going to allow myself to experience and digest and be nurtured by love. And we all know how to feel that. We all know how to feel that. If you were to take a memory of a time when you felt loved, and you were to just be in that memory and even relive that memory as many details as you can, even to the point that it makes you cry because you miss that memory or that person or that time when you felt good about yourself or whatever. But to feel genuinely connected to something that made you full of light made you feel grateful, made you feel like you had a best friend, made you feel like somebody cared, and how that made a difference. And you were to just bring that memory in just by reliving in it. That is the same energy of your angels and your guides and your higher self and your soulmates and love itself. And that energy is accessible at any time. We just proved it. You have it in your memories. I keep getting this echo that there's going to be some people who will say that I haven't had a single kind thing ever happen to me in my whole life. And I challenge you. I challenge you to say, I do know of one time, actually. Because everybody has one time when, even if it was during hardship, where somebody looked you in the eye and said the right thing, and it reached your heart. Everybody has one thing. Now give yourself that one thing. The whole world needs more than one thing. And we can be that for each other. So that's my message. Thank you all so much again. And I hope you have an amazing day.